What's going on, Southern California? It's your boy Gamble, live from the Lift Every Voice Civil Rights Panel at the Lyceum Theater, downtown San Diego. I'm here with Grady Gordon. Let us know a little bit about your organization and why you were involved with this panel today.
My organization is the National Society of Black Engineers. I'm the chairman for the San Diego chapter. Tiffany and Crystal from BAPAC actually reached out to the National Society of Black Engineers and invited us down. I really didn't have a insight of what I would be getting myself into, but anytime I can talk about the National Society of Black Engineers and collaborate with other San Diego organizations, I'm all for it.
So in other words, you know they was going to stick you in a room and have brothers interviewing you from dinner. I'm just If tomorrow we had a large, or just say within the next 6 months, we had a large growth of black engineers, what would you say, what change could that or would that bring about in the world once we have more black engineers? The importance of it.
Well, that's a good question, because black engineers carries a lot of weight. You're an engineer, you're black, and you're amongst a community of engineers that really predominantly is dominated by European and Asian engineers. But in our mission statement, it says to positively impact the community. So I can tell you, if we had 1 million black engineers produced tomorrow and not one of them had the NSBE mission statement tattooed in their soul and their heart, and they weren't about positively impacting the community, it would absolutely mean nothing for the country. Because here in the National Society of Black Engineers, that mission statement, I keep going back to the mission statement, if you're not actually self-aware, if you're not socially conscious as a black engineer, and you're not serving your community and causing a positive change, then really you're doing the engineering community, especially the black engineers, a disservice. And I say that, I could go on camera, you could quote me on that, you could find me on Facebook, you can ask me that question, you can call my cell phone, 619-708-0396, I'll back it up. We were voted #1 in the nation is because here in San Diego, we are fully aware of not only how important our role is to the community, but how important our role is to knowing who we are and understanding that black engineering started 10,000, maybe 20,000 years ago. We built the first standing structures in the world. And so we're not satisfied with just being an engineer in a corporation. We are set on a mission to increase and make it known to all of our kids that all of you can be engineers because it's in your DNA. And we've been doing it since the beginning of time. And so that's the mission, to positively impact the community. Our CEO, Dr. Carl Mack, has created a program called SEEK. And here in San Diego, we increased SEEK from 150 kids to 300 kids and now 600 kids. And we're going to be happy to implement and serve the community in that particular component of our program throughout the year. And that's just one component. But that's just a little bit about the National Society of Black Engineers, and that's how I feel about how many black engineers we have in this country, how many socially conscious black engineers we have in this country is what matters to the National Society of Black Engineers.
Wow, I love that. I think that applies to almost anything you're doing. If you're doing it, you're not doing it to make an impact on the community. We stand fully behind that statement. I'm not going to give you my phone number, but we stand fully behind that statement. Out there. If there was a young man right now who knew that his dream was to be an entrepreneur one day, what is the first thing you would tell him? The basic knowledge that you could give him right now to be an entrepreneur?
Excellence is key. If you're not excellent, if you're not the best in the world at what you're trying to do, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're just going to fall in the bottom pit as everybody else. So be prepared, be focused, understand that there's going to be a lot of hard work and it's going to be boring times. But whatever you choose to do, as far as being an entrepreneur, be excellent.
How has being a part of this and being aware, socially, economically aware, how has that affected your life the most?
It has affected my life in many ways. I have a whole new outlook on life. It's very important for us to get out there and vote. It's very important for our voice to be heard as young people, and just in general as African Americans, minorities in general. It's very important. I am a mother, and so I'm raising my boys a certain way. You know, I'm changing the way, like I said, my whole outlook on life is different. And we need to vote, and we need to go knock on doors, and we need to get together and boycott or whatever, whatever we need to do it as one. We need unity in the community, and that's what we're missing.
I heard that. Well, you couldn't say it any more perfect. I'm so glad that being a part of this organization, I'm sure, like you said, your boys will grow to be men that are also socially, economically aware. As it is now, we have countless thousand stations, and half of them aren't playing anything worth watching. So that's why we created So Political, is to give us platforms to actually show our news, which is the people's news, and push the people, because right now a lot of agendas are being pushed through media, through television. Tell us a little bit about your organization, what it means to you, and how long you've been involved in it.
Let me speak to the young professional group in the organization. Yes, I was a little resistant to some change, but just as I had to be patient with some of the younger people in BAPAC, the Black American Political Association in California, they were patient with me and showed me the power of social network. And they made me think about, what if Dr. King had social network? If he had had social network, would he have had to put his physical self in harm's danger so many times that he did? Think about if he had had the power of social network these days, while he could sit in his seminary office and talk about the urgency that the entire nation had to move to change civil rights. Would he have had to physically himself be that night, April 4th, 1968, with the garbage workers trying to get better wages? Could he have not done that from his study and not put himself in harm's way that night? Think about the possibilities of what the social network has done across the nation, where dictatorships almost were falling, monthly. Why? Because the social network had become so powerful. Instead of just a few people being involved, millions were involved around the globe, which gave power to just a little simplest movement in overturning dictatorships that have lasted hundreds of years.
Wow, and I don't mean to keep going back to So Political, but it's a YouTube-based show which is basically pushed through social networks, and we're able to, when we do the show, right now we're able to press one button and 1 million people can see it and upload it, and the power in that is we didn't have to wait around and say, you know what, we're going to try to get signed by CBS, we're going to try to get them to take the show. No, we were able to create that show in a room similar to this one and actually get it out to the people. So that is, man, connecting that dot is so powerful. You heard it right there. Imagine Martin Luther King on Facebook, man. There'd be some dope quotes, and so there'd be a lot of stuff on that wall. So give us any last comments that you have where we could link up with this, with your organization, and like I say, anything last things you would want to say.
I'm of the opinion that the next phase of this civil rights movement will be led by young people. Why do I say that? Young people are probably the top consumers in this nation. The trends are set by young people. The buying habits. Look, whether you're talking about mega giants like Walmart or what have you, they want to know, what do young people want these days? Young people control even their parents' spending habits. Once young people put their mind on how powerful they can be, simply because, as you stated, pushing a button, then they will determine the next course, not only for this community, the United States and the world.
I heard that right now. Hey, like you just said, the young people, that is a call to all you young people to understand the true power that we hold. And right now, one of the highest unemployment rates is the youth. So not only are we the ones buying, we don't got no jobs to buy nothing. That's why they're asking their parents for the money to buy it. So that is a challenge that he's giving to the youth, that we are giving. You guys go out there, make a move, lift your voice. Right here at the Civil Rights Panel. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, Dr. Blair. Talk to y'all next time. So Political.
Knowledge.